Alright, welcome to another Pharm Friday. I really like these. Today, we are talking about hydrochlorothiazide. Also, I forgot to put the abbreviation. It's abbreviated a lot to HCTZ, but when you're speaking in a professional manner, you usually say hydrochlorothiazide. It's in the class of the thiazides. It's a diuretic. This is usually the first drug that they use if you have hypertension. So they'll use this first, and then if that one doesn't work, they'll usually go to lisinopril, which I already made a video on. So the big thing with hydrochlorothiazide is, well, let me first tell you how it works. So it increases the excretion of sodium and water by inhibiting salt reabsorption in the kidney. So that kind of explains a little bit of how it works. You need to monitor, we've previously talked about Stevens-Johnson's. That's a fatal rash that occurs. We talked about it with Lamictal. So you just need to assess and monitor for a rash, but also for edema. So there's sacral edema, so like in the butt area, if somebody's bedridden, or just if somebody stays in the bed a lot and they sit up, all of that fluid is typically going to collect in the sacral area. But you also need to check the feet, ankles, legs, that kind of thing. Muscle cramps also happen, so we just want to monitor for those. Blood pressure, INO, and daily weight. So the blood pressure, because this is typically used for blood pressure. INO, which is intake and output. So we're measuring how much the patient takes in, so drinks, eats, that kind of thing. Then we're measuring how much they're peeing out. So for example, let's say they drink, I don't know, it adds up to like 3,000 milliliters, which is 3 liters. So they drink 3 liters of fluid, but let's say they only peed out 2,000, which means that they're retaining about 1,000 milliliters of fluid. So that means that they have some edema that we need to check and assess and monitor, and just watch the upcoming days to see if it gets better or worse. So that's a big thing. And then obviously monitoring the blood pressure. We already talked about edema. So the other thing is it can cause photosensitivity reactions. So staying out of the sun and or wearing sunscreen is a good idea with this med. I hope you, well, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys have a good weekend.